Hi everyone, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have a very interesting Divine Feminine Twin Flame read for you today, as well as oracle cards at the end. And I'm going to get right into it. Today is January 16th, 2019. The 16 is all about the Tower energy, so sudden events coming in, whether it's positive or negative, can be both. But I always see it as a good thing because it means the divine energy is coming in to break something up that's been stagnant or stuck. Okay. The day adds up to 2911, so that's the Three of Wands, which traditionally means, you know, your ship coming in, maybe moving up in the next level of business, but you're waiting for things to sort out before you start again, or to reinvest your money, that kind of thing. But for the journey, I always see it now as staying present, because there's nothing to look forward out there. That's the outcome, and we're just seeing what's in the present moment. So that's the energy of today. The 29 is an 11. It's that visionary spiritual number. And we have that with the 16 of the Tower. Okay. So, in getting into today's read, when I put out, after I cut the cards, again, the top card fell down on its own, and again, the central energy is the Lovers. And I love the Lovers card in the Sirius and Starseed deck because it's all of the rainbow colors. It's really beautiful. And as that happened, some lyrics from one of my songs came up. To search your heart, it's always known, and get your ass back on that throne. You can't believe until you're done deceiving. Okay, so that came out, as well as right after that, I was thinking about the stuff around the house that needs to get done, but I'm still not feeling inspired to do it. And right as I was thinking that, a beautiful red, bright red cardinal landed on the barren tree outside my front window. And I was getting the message that, you know, don't worry about that stuff. Still, let it go. If it needs to be done, it will come. Okay? So whether you do it because you're inspired or because it's sent to you because you needed the help, it will come. Okay? I also then found a card from the Tarot of Sexual Magic that had been left under my leg, under my left leg. And it was that Nine of Pentacles card, which in the Tarot of Sexual Magic is much about obsession. But it's also about cutting cords and cutting hair. So I was getting to trim your hair today. Also, and I'm losing my voice, so speak your truth. Cut all your cords, and you might need to speak up and speak your truth in order to cut some of your cords. But cut your etheric cords with your intention. Do that again if you've done it already. And because release your ex was coming up as well. To cut all your cords again. You know, you need to do that regularly because, you know, all the stuff comes in on a regular basis. You have to clear yourself regularly. Okay? And speak your truth. And then I was getting it, this was right as I finished doing the read for the feminine. Try not to get worried, try not to turn on to problems that upset you. Oh, don't you know everything's alright? Yes, everything's fine, and it's cool, and the ointment's sweet for the fire in your head and feet. Close your eyes and relax, think of nothing tonight. Okay, and that's from Jesus Christ Superstar. So, you know, just to relax, don't worry. So as we get into the Divine Feminine read, which was 10:46 to 7, the only major arcana that came up was that Lovers that dropped out in the beginning, the central card. There were 5 swords for the feminine, so you guys get out of your heads. That's why I needed to bring up that song, okay? Try not to get worried. Let go, relax. 5 of swords, not 5 of swords, but 5 swords, 4 pentacles, and 1 cup. There were no wands for the Divine Feminine today. It was just 4, 4, 4. There was the King of Swords, a lot of people. King of Swords, Queen of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, and Page of Pentacles. So we have 2 couples here and 2 children. or they could just be messages or offers, that kind of thing, proposals. But it's really interesting how this all comes together. They could be just people around you. They could have multiple meanings, so they could be people who are coming in and out of your life today, or it could have another meaning having to do with you and your karmic, your twin and their karmic, or you and your twin, and your masculine and their masculine, your feminine and their feminine, because there are merges coming together, just like I explained from my sand art yesterday. That was coming through again at the end of this read too, so I will get into that. The numbers that came up in the codes for you guys today was 3 was the only real number in the codes, but 88 also came up in the cards today, so 8s are important, and Lionsgate again, and then 541 came up. Oh, also, the energy, the coding and everything was all about pride today, so that was the card from the numerology deck that came up. And also that 9 of Pentacles from the Tarot of Sexual Magic was bringing up the connection of the lion and the mane, right? The lion's pride is their mane, and to trim your hair today. And I guess my hair kind of looks like that today too, which is funny. The coding, it's all about pride, and don't forget, it's about letting go of your pride. So when you're confused about certain things, go back to that and say, are you doing it for you, or are you doing it to prove something to somebody else? So it has nothing to do with your creativity. That's who you are. If you're being authentic to you, it's really your creative, inspired drive, then that's you. But if you're doing it to show off or to prove yourself to someone, don't forget that's all about pride. Okay? There's nothing wrong with putting on makeup or doing your hair if that's something you enjoy doing and you love to do for you, but not to change yourself to look like something else for someone else. That's the whole point. So the coding was about, well, before that too, I also then got step on a crack, it breaks your mother's back. Remember when we used to do that when we were little? I was sitting on the crack in the sofa and I got that, and I was guided to move off the crack. You know, because there is energy there, because like it's a dead space, or it's actually the live space, but it's not balanced right there. So whatever that brings up for you, let me know that as well. But I was getting to trim your hair for new growth as well, if you haven't done that in a while. So 3 supports, the knights and the pages, so the children, so those could be older and younger children. And then I was getting E-I-E-I-O. That O is that contained source energy. It's God, creator, source, higher self, okay? That the divine feminine, don't forget, E-I-G comes up, that E is the Eve, or the divine feminine, equals I, the self, in connection with higher self equals God, source, creator, okay? So you have to keep being reminded of that per the messages I'm getting. That the Queen of Swords is insufficient for our BS pride. That was literally coming up. Also from the messages was coming up, to the nth degree, shaman support, aid. They heal and see bad spirits because they know they equal I, and that equals higher self or God. That 0 point to the nth degree. They're wise of word and thought, and they vibrate at a high vibration when it comes to BS about pride. So also the 3 musketeers was coming up again, in seeking urgent 8 queens of truth to raise insufficient vibrations, again for BS pride. All right. And also I want to remind you, because bowel movements keeps coming up. For me it came up, and then I heard it 2 more times yesterday after I did my read about bowel movements, okay? And so BS pride is bowel movements. All right, and that's about, you know, the transmutation. Your liver and your kidneys literally transmute the energies that you take into your body physically and let them out, and we're doing that in etheric level. It's the same type of thing. So paralleling yourself to that. All right, so getting into the codes that came up online, immunology was the first header that came up. 3 flashcards from Quizlet. Number 3, study, play. And then it said decreased TH cells, antigen presentation, humoral CMI responses, no MHC. How are mast cells primed during sensitization phase? So whoever's in the medical field, if that means something to you, please let me know. But that came up as just in general immunology, so whatever you can do to boost your immune system. The second header was Adepts of the Five Elements. And that was actually a book, if you want to look it up. It looked kind of interesting. Sandus, S-A-N-D-U-S, Germanus. Okay, so German and then US.net. And it just quickly, it said, felicity of contact with 3 to 4 of masters. Appreciate to ... through contact with the masters of wisdom and by means. All right, but anyway, if you want to look that up for more information, you can. And then the next header was the World War II, which cracks me up because every time I see World War now, and it was just 11/11, WW is the Wounded Warrior. So every time I see a World War something, now we have WW11, World War II. The ghost bomber that mysteriously landed itself. And this is from history101.com. And the header just was talking about the 417th and 415th Squadron pilots talking about it. I think the Foo Fighters, and it's funny because Fooey came up for me in the coding the other day. I think the Foo Fighters they didn't show on the radar because they were in plain, not sight, but plain light. So that was interesting. Another heading that came up is the different colors of the ghost orbs and their meanings, and that was from paranormal.lovetoknow.com. Next one was EPES, Sargent, S-A-R-G-E-N-T, and that was from 1813 to 1880, and that was from DocSouthUNC.edu, the Standard Speller, and there was exercises for oral spelling. The next heading was full text of a pronouncing spelling book. So it's interesting that more than one thing about that came up. For beginners to advanced, and that was from archive.org. The next header was just 3, and that was 3.co.uk. So the 44 was just up again with the 12 of wisdom, and the 44 is the mastering. Also the 4 of cups and Atlas. But the phone company in the UK is 3. That was just coming up 3. And that's interesting because 3 was the only number that came up in the coding today. So encyclopedia, also Orzea compressed, E-O-R-Z-E-A, compressed from es.scribe.com about the continent and the new world. And it just said Aldenard, A-L-D-E-N-A-R-D, the most west of the 3 great continents and surrounding islands. So that was interesting. The next header was full text of Trithiof's saga, which was from archive.org, and that's T-R-I-T-H-I-O-F. Trithiof's saga, or Trithiof's saga, however it's pronounced. And then the final one was obituaries from yourlifemoments.ca. Okay, so Canada. Last 7 days on your life moments. You might want to review that. So we get right into the read. The underlying energy starts off with the King of Swords. I'm going to show you that too. This is the King of Swords from the Syrian Starseed deck, okay? So he's very serious and stone cold, okay? So the 7 stone steps to the right, the King of Swords had 7 stone steps to the right in order to get to that solid stone throne. Crisp navy and white, and a loose grip of the sword of truth across his lap. Seriousness of a master, and a white aura. Backed by 3 at work. Okay, so this comes up again. And this is separate from the 3 that came up from the codes and the cards. It's different. Number 13 here came up as well, which is transformation. It's the death card, the portal. Okay. So flowers hanging next to the chalkboard with geometric shapes at Trinity. There's an impatience to choose new path in the world for this King of Swords. There's business disconnected, but the business disconnect is almost complete. There's an offer of a new life with choice of path out for the offering. The King of Pentacles, blind to his suffering. All right, so King of Pentacles and King of Swords here now. Or, in his knowing, this King of Pentacles suffers to have to deal with a lawyer or a man of the law, who's that King of Swords, who is very by the book when he is laid back and more country-like. The King of Pentacles is green and soft and natural. When the moon is almost eclipsed, there is a sacral connection, and that will be off the charts. I was actually getting magenta and green for the King of Pentacles, but it's coming up that when the moon is almost eclipsed, so it's not quite the fully eclipsed moon, the sacral connection will be off the charts, as well as compassion. Notice not all the leaves have died, that some are still green and yellow. So that was interesting coming up. All right, so pay attention to the relationship between these two kings, because not only it can be multiple scenarios, even for just one of you, because the King and Queen are coming up here, or the King and King, King of Pentacles, King of Swords, are coming up as they can be partners. One can be the other's boss. One can be dealing with a lawyer or the courts in some way, or the police or the law in some way. And they can also be representing the masculine and the feminine's masculine, okay? That one isn't always seeing the suffering that the other one's going through, because now the two are merging, like I said in my sand art. The masculine to masculine, here we have the masculine twin flame and the feminine twin flame. Each of their masculines is now merging separately, and then each of their feminines are merging separately, because then you see you'll be working as one masculine, one feminine, okay? That's the energy that's been coming up yesterday and today. So the Knight of Wands movement, out of control with the Emperor reversed, holding back or delay in expressing feelings, passions that support a marriage, commitment, establishment, with no sex or sexual or creative block. There's two balding men here in a race to the finish line, answering to a higher power, the establishment. But they are at cross purposes, wanting to hang a shingle, or someone literally has broke out in shingles, due to frustration, wanting passionate new start. Okay, so release your ex comes up for the feminines as the underlying energy, as well as children beneath that, and it's about children affecting your love life. But release your ex, and if your ex isn't in your life anymore, you still need to release their energy in some way. Whether it's cutting their cord again because they've reattached to you, or energy around your house, or in you, still you having thoughts of them. Those are things that are coming up to clear as the underlying energy. Big love is out around the King of Pentacles in your energy, all right? Queen of the Divine Feminine is coming up as seeing herself as the King of Pentacles. So like I said, I don't usually go by, masculines or feminines that come up in the read as being anyone. I usually go masculines, a man, and the feminines that come up are feminines. But in this particular read, and it was just 44 again, that the feminine's coming up as the King of Pentacles, or her masculine in her energy. It's matching her masculine as the King of Pentacles to the masculine's masculine in the King of Swords, coming together, making it work. So there's big love out and around this King of Pentacles in your energy. Okay, so whether it's reflecting your energy or your masculine, it's coming up as you today. But around this, there's big love around you. But there's also, on the other side of things, a dummy or a mannequin posing around you, pretending to have their right elbow on the truth, on the twisted truth. But the pulse is usually taken from the wrist, not the elbow. So they're not on the pulse of things, right? The left arm is a dummy with an extra hand that's not their own, like a robot with boobs, putting it out there to a cowboy with flame and cows in the background. So it could literally be farmlands, or a man who's old school, who thinks of the women who work for him as cows. who have been put out to pasture. Okay? Designer Levi's an empty shell, except a whisper of a bug that's now dead, and red boots that stepped on it. Okay, so whether it's an actual bug or a hearing device bug, this person is coming up with the red boots as a royal pain in the ass, refusing all offers. And somebody might have bugged someone else, like, to see what they were sneakily doing. Creepy empress with the snake and rabbit's head on a stick, with Atlas Adonis in a vice grip, while white dove and tan bunny just missed her red heel, stepping on them, learning their lesson about sugar and honey, that you get more with being sweet than giving them a hard time. After they were cleared, she stepped in a pile of shit. Or cow poo was coming up as well. So after the good, sweet little bunnies and the white doves avoided her, her red boots walking all over you, she then proceeded to step in a pile of cow poo. So spiritual partnership comes up here as the underlying energy, and even more so beneath that, self-discipline for the feminine. Branding 2 fingers with hot poker night. Full moon ascending to red. Okay, so when the eclipse happens, it can be a little bit of a red tone. So full moon ascending to red, wearing magnetizing bracelet, thumb to first 2 fingers. Dumping out cups from a party, or dreams of kids that were being smartasses. So you're dumping out their dreams, the activities they want to do, they're being punished because they were being bad. So new passion for messages for feminine, or kids' rashes inflamed, needing to dump out useless stress and emotions, to sit outside with the squirrels or the mongoose, grass and trees instead, rising above the daily dread. If teal is not your color, try sapphire instead. Emerald and topaz, or crazy stripes on your legs, purple and red. Pentagon rises with the full moon to block out the sun's light, but the jesters in the court with point at the floor to offer humor in this chess match. A childish fight of Chinese checkers, and candy stripers rising above the seriousness. So it's like a comedy and tragedy, so when the government is rising up as like the eclipse of the moon, there are others that come out to bring humor, okay, to let go of that seriousness. The point can't hurt if you keep your distance. The King of Wands is behind it all. Rise above militant attitudes with no passion and just stress. Release your ex, even if to others you look like the evil ex. Recently, anxiety of the Queen of Wands is sick, and the King of Cups reversed is hiding from her. The King of Swords is on edge, but trying to rise above. And we have here the King of Swords now, the King of Cups reversed, and the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands. So not only are we playing with our own masculine and feminines, but we have another couple here, the King and Queen of Wands and the King of Cups reversed, which can actually be that parent figure, or the kind of a narcissistic emperor personality. But there's no sex and lots of stress coming up here for the King of Swords on edge. The foundation for the feminine is the Knight of Pentacles, leading with attention, but falling on their face behind the scenes. A lack of faith and divine intervening, a proposal at hand, okay? So the Knight of Pentacles is coming up in that position, leading with attention. So they're having success, attention, and good news, but falling on their face, which they're not showing, they're putting that on as a cover behind the scenes because of their own lack of faith. But now there's divine intervention. There's a proposal now at hand. The King of Swords is stressed to release X and proposing. So once they release, there's a new proposal they want to make. Centrally, the Lovers, covered in chaos. Independent King of Wands with dreams of huge transformation announcing to women and children that the King of Swords is an angel, but star student is unhappy in the family, opportunity the family is not happy about. Challenged by the Queen of Swords prisoner, keeping the lion's mouth closed, who's been stalking or gossiping crap via her mother, kids destined to flee with her from unhappy family. So it's definitely getting some of the Divine Masculine's families, the karmic and the kids will be leaving. Or kids schooling the mother about her passionate running around and everyone blabbing it all over town. So it definitely could come up for the feminine as well. The Queen of Swords is not even ever seen because there's all this chaos going on above the Queen of Swords prisoner, right? Divine Feminine. There's all this other stuff going on that she may not even be aware of. Now in the Divine Feminine's head and crown is risk-taking, downloading messages to the other Divine Feminines and children to help them realize their dreams and transform. The King of Swords angel needing, in a split, needing clarity and financial opportunity. There's a family legacy here of the King of Pentacles reversed, triumphing, but trying to sneakily move homes, or maybe feeling a little unstable, but lost money and status, but still rising above. So even if the feminine is, mastering her manifestation abilities, she still may be losing a little bit right now, but she's still rising above and not letting that get to her. There's downloads and lovers of the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. Proposal. Independent King of Wands faces off against Scorpio Aquarius as the Sag Angel watches, who's the King of Swords. So again, these could all be people in the masculine's life, or these could all be players in your life as well. But all these kings are coming up, okay? We have all 4 kings on the table. All 4 queens came out as well. So they could be karmics in your life, they could be karmics in the masculine's life, okay? And it's like this. It's like the Emperor, King of Cups reversed, is coming up as the King of Wands also, because he's coming up as the single, independent one. Like the parent who's single or independent. He doesn't have to be single, but he's coming off as like he does what he wants. But this independent King of Wands faces off now against a Scorpio Aquarius as the Sag Angel King of Swords watches. Risky dreams of a new life staged as the Knight of Cups arrives with the harsh truth and string pulling. Gangrene and energy stealing or harvesting. Trophy wife with all the light on them, exposing the King of Pentacles, red cape, and destined transformation of a whole lot of pain and new passion. Surprising, even shocking 5D world, burning the past while avoiding. So all this stuff is coming out about the whole situation. Soon is the Queen of Pentacles standing up for her marriage or commitment or church or establishment, finding peace with soulmate, new passion, confessing bad temper and lack of inspiration, and offering friendship or dropping burdens of kids, tantrums, and love life dramas. So the Queen of Cups could be either way. This could be coming up as you, a karmic in your environment, or the Divine Masculine's karmic as now her deciding to leave. Whether this is because she has a new love or because she's just tired of the situation. There's definitely energy in this read coming up where some of the Divine Masculine's karmics are going to be twins, but they hadn't been awakened yet, and now are awakening to their twins, so they're going to want to leave their situation. So they will leave your Divine Masculine. It's not all the case for everyone. Some of them can be leaving for a soulmate as well, and some of them, can be nasty karmics. So it just depends on your situation. Everyone's different. The Divine Feminine is the King of Pentacles, Crystal Skull, which is all about the Akashic Records and Egypt and Atlantis. Letting go of holding on to money and energy and coming together with others leaving behind coming together with others that doesn't work, okay? Mastering repairs and playing ball and magnetizing third party from work or creative situation or church. New love comes up here for the feminine, healing family issues and making the effort, right? Because great love is worth the effort, and then romantic feelings. All around the King of Pentacles in your energy. Around the Divine Feminine are kids and students of intuition, moving forward, offering help to those without and the injured. Boldly moving or traveling to play hard, standing in their truth to all others, even if they walk away, and detoxing their bodies, affirmations all around their mirrors and pictures. Okay, so it's describing our children and how enlightened they already are. And like I said yesterday, I wanted to bring it up again because my daughter had broke out in a rash, so that might be something that's coming up with all of these harsh energies coming in, even shingles, so watch out for that stuff. Clear blocks of forgetting words and thoughts. Just shed light on sharing, teaching and learning, giving and receiving to find peace, away from the establishment. The V is interesting because in the Hierophant, they were showing me the V without the I is the establishment. Because the I, when I was bringing up codes that I get as far as geometric shapes and things like that, you need the I with the V's for the co-creation. And then it was coming up the V as the establishment or the Hierophant. And then you notice the Emperor is the one V, so there is an I there. And the Emperor is the only person who's truly in control, which is Source. And then the V1, which brings in the I from the other side of co-creation, is the Lovers, okay? So God and the Lovers. So that was a really beautiful reference there. Pride comes up for the feminine, like I said before, but even more so the need for physical activity. Cutting cords, trimming hair, cutting the fat, the sugar obsessions. New love will be the big dessert with the cherry on top. Remember that first prize could be as well coming up for someone, is pride, a narcissistic energy held in the right elbow and inflamed, ingrained in the family lineage DNA. You are twin flames. There's nothing to prove, just to be, just to move. And that's that physical activity it's saying. Make sure you move your body. The 5D world and narcissist both get all the 3D light. Not so different really, except that one is bulked up with physical muscle and the other with divine light. Don't you see the illusion of 3D pride? Avoiding the pain with toxins, alcohol and such, and or avoiding sharing with others. And that then will store in your elbow, pride. Express yourself as you like, but as a lion struts his stuff with his mane, so does human with pride. You do it. Do you do it as an expression of true self, to please self, or to show off and prove your worth to others? The family pyramid, the one that's on top, has a lot of responsibility to stay humble with humility. After all, the family pyramid balance depends on every part being in harmony. The top having farthest to fall, but those on the bottom supporting the whole time could be crushed. The universe distributes burden equally to all. Harsh words can be taken the wrong way, as the truth of deception rushes in third-party situations, gossip, and overindulgences. Batman suddenly, surprisingly walks away from family in another world. The Queen of Cups reversed, sudden separation, over the lost after manipulation. The High Priestess, Queen of Pentacles, with new love. The Divine Masculine is coming forward. Some of their karmics are twins now just starting their journey with their own love. The Queen of Cups reversed, who was manipulative, Viking High Priestess, but the Queen of Pentacles over the loss already and in love, having already walked away and done her work. Okay, so it's like a changing of the guards. Two sets of couples and children between them. Remember in chaos, the queen, not in chaos, remember in chess that the queen is very versatile, but the king only moves one square at a time to ground and hold position. Okay, so comparing that to like the pyramid of the flyer and the base. Okay, they both have their purpose and they're equal. The King of Swords proposes to the King of Pentacles to learn psychic abilities with some anxiety of lovers. The Queen of Swords and Queen of Pentacles float without thoughts to pass on downloads, to emit light from the top. Twins merge, masculine to masculine, feminine to feminine, to become one, functioning, masculine, feminine, co-creating twins. Okay, so really cool message. I'm going to pull you some oracle cards as well. Please comment below. Thank you guys all, as always, for your likes, shares, subscribes, and your comments. Please continue doing so if you should need any of my services. My email and my website are below. And I'm going to go ahead and do your oracle cards. So take a deep breath. Clear. Okay, so January 16, 2019, for everyone watching in the best and highest good of all those concerned. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? Okay. 3. Air is at the bottom, number 12. Okay, so make sure you breathe the air. Number 12 is all about wisdom and seeing things from another perspective. The cards that came up for you guys: 37, which is the King of Cups. It's also a 1, Paul the Venetian. The Gold and Silver Violet Flame, which is the 4 of the Emperor, which also came up. And Archangel Metatron's Cloak, number 51, which is the King of Swords. Alright, so again, we have 2 kings here and an emperor, just in these numbers. And the Hangman. Alright, so we have the King of Cups out and the King of Swords, the King of Pentacles, and the King of Wands. Alright, let's see how that comes into play here. So Paul the Venetian's 37, which is that 1 energy. We had the 3 from air, 4, 6, and 1. So there's all different numbers coming up. Is it 1, 6, and 2, 9? Okay. So Paul the Venetian is 37. The great Master Paul is Koan of the 3rd ray. He lifts people's spirits and sets their souls free to create beauty and inspiration through music and art, and also in practical ways. This card encourages you to communicate your essence by writing, painting, or in any heartfelt manner. Call on Master Paul to help you express your visions, and he will co-create them with you. These visions will hold such light that people will be touched by them, thereby accelerating the plan for Earth. Paul carries the flame of liberty and is helping to set you free. The affirmation is, I express myself creatively and harmoniously. Paul the Venetian. Okay? This is your creativity. Not to prove anything to anyone else, but what is just because of who you are. So the Gold and Silver Flame says, the Gold and Silver Violet Flame, Archangel Zadkiel and Saint Germain are keepers of the violet flame of transmutation. When you add the gold of wisdom, which we had in the Hangman coming up, and the silver of grace and harmony of the family pyramid, you create the powerful gold and silver violet flame. The angels suggest you invoke this mighty energy to clear the ascension path ahead of you and keep your light pure and clear. When you send the gold and silver violet flame to people, situations, and places, you facilitate wondrous transformations. This powerful light transmutes the old and raises everything to a high frequency. The affirmation is, I am the gold and silver violet flame. So it's coming up is really important with these high energies. It came up already this week. So make sure you are constantly clearing, okay? And staying clear in your integrity as well, okay? So then Archangel Metatron's Cloak it's an honor. This is 51. It's an honor to receive this card, for the cloak allows Metatron's energy to be held in your aura. It ensures that your 12 chakras are open and protects you from lower energies. It's very interesting because today with the King of Swords underlying energy, I never bring up the aura around him in the card, and today I did bring up that white aura, and it's coming up here. And he's number 51, the King of Swords. This means that you can link to the 7th dimensions of Hollow Earth and access wisdom from the 4 ascension planets. Walk tall and stand in your power. Wearing this cloak will help you guide others on their ascension path. You're called on to do this. Empower people to see who they are and what they can do. Okay? Help point out people's positive aspects so they understand who they are. The affirmation is, I stand in my power and lead others forward. Okay, so again, it's reinforcing also to keep your energy clear as we come into this eclipse, okay? So all week, Keep yourself extra clear. Clear and align. Now for the past life deck. Take another deep breath. Okay. January 16, 2019. For everybody watching, the best and highest good of all those concerned. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? It can be messy sometimes. Okay. We got 4. The Native American came up underneath. Okay. There's a lot of purity coming up here. So the Native American looks very pure, you know, it's very white. And the door in this teepee looks like an upside down door, like the hangman. Okay, so see things from a new perspective. And the shaman energy came up in the coding today, how important it was to see the perspective from the shaman point of view. And there's writing beneath that, the writer and the scribe, so make sure you're journaling. The cards that came up for you guys is ships again. Ships coming in, beautiful and white and pure. Leaving or travel. And then 2 more cards wanted to come out. Okay? Phobias and food and hunger. So maybe some of your obsessions with food have to do with phobias from past lives. Or it could be this life as well. So look into that. Is that correct? Feel into those energies. Okay? It's just about, doesn't have to be specific foods, but certainly bread. We're obsessive about bread because bread and water were the staples of life. And how good bread tastes to us might not just have to do with its taste, but our attachment to it from survival. The fear that you will have no food. Like I know from my family lineage, I mean, a lot of people starved to death, because we're talking about Poland before the war. And the Jews were all, you know, they all died because they weren't given jobs. They were starved to death. So it wasn't even the deaths of the Jews. This was before the Holocaust. There was a lot of death by starvation, whether it was in Russia, Poland, a lot of that because there was prejudice, okay? So that's coming up as important as that starvation thing around food and phobias. So to feel into that. And also there may be some phobias around leaving or travel, because the soldiers who have left you and never came back in past lifetimes are also traveling salesmen who were you know, sneaky, dishonest, you know, shysters, that type of energy coming up here. The traveling salesman, the one you can't trust. So people who travel all the time are people who are not trustworthy. This is something else that's coming up. And ships coming in, so someone, and also if you travel by ship, you may have died. You know, you may not have even gotten to the other place you were going to back in the day, right? But here, the leaving or travel is coming up really dusky and dirty, like the old way. Keeping your suitcase on one track. But this is the fresh new vision of the ship coming in. The blinds being open. We're switching tracks. We are changing lanes. Here is where the switch in the tracks comes in. This is the change in dimensions, in your timelines. This eclipse is going to be, for a lot of you, it's going to be a change in your timeline so you can bring your union in. And have a suitcase packed just in case, for a quick trip. Could be by train, could be to the pyramids, or by ship. All right, 4, the journey of love. Clear and align. Take another deep breath. Clear and align. Clear and align. Okay. So again, for everyone, today is January 16, 2019. For everyone watching, for the best and highest good of all those concerned, it was just 4444. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? Oh, I guess I'm taking that. Alright, the bottom of the deck is Dance of the Planets, number 56. Alright, a lot of, more cards wanted to come out, but I'm not taking them all. That's just too much. There's a lot coming out. I'll show you the last 4, but I'll do the 3. So Dance of the Planets is really about coming together in the vortex. 56. 56 is the 2 of Swords. The underlying energy of coming together in that beautiful rainbow swirl, in a peaceful place with a light. And the 2 of Swords, like I said, it's 45-45. 45 is that 5 of Cups. So went from the 44, which is the 4 of Cups and the 5 of Cups, which is leaving behind all of that. You know, the boredom, the avoidance, the grounding and integrating, the sorrow, the leaving something behind, to let go of all of that, to be at peace in your light. And the 2 of Swords, very much for me now, is in your being in your knowing. You know, you hands over the heart, because you are working on your energy, and you have a blindfold over your eyes because you don't need to see. So the cards that came up for you guys are the Choice, which is 62. 62 is the 8 of Swords. That's that anxiety that's coming up, feeling trapped, imprisoned. Number 12 comes up as self-initiation. Again, this is the Hangman. The Hangman, when he's in his primary position, is always seeing things from a new perspective, being wise, being still, not rushing. And that's the inspiration. The self-initiation is through inspiration, being still until you become inspired. The third card that dropped out is 23, which is the King of Wands, across the waters. Okay, so now we have all of the wands, all of the kings came up in these numbers, except for the King of Pentacles, which is you. Interesting. It's coming up as your masculine energy today. And then these bunch of cards wanted to come out too. I'll show them to you really quick. 50 is the Cloak. And 50 is the 10 of Cups, which was the last card in the read, the Pyramid. This came up, the Blood Dance, number 42, which is the 2 of Cups. Yin Yang came up. Yin Yang Lover is number 8, which is the Strength card. And then number 16, which is today's date, which came up, all right, as Heart of the Moment, number 16, very red. All about the heart, okay? So 16 came up, which is the day today. And the 8, which is the infinity, of course, always staying Yin Yang Lover, which is the center of the read today, and then reminding us about 0 point to stay balanced. The Blood Dance of the 2 of Cups of coming together, and then the 50 of the family, never forgetting about the whole. Okay, but there always needs to be a base and supporting the top. So it's nice that they all came out. All right, so I'm going to read you. We'll start from the 12 and work our way up. All right, so self-initiation, number 12. You're being touched by a wave of your own light and motion. Can you feel the blessings and love that are flowing towards you from within you in an upsurging wave of love? This is your own pure divine nature. You can choose to empower another as the carrier of your own divinity, of course, and sometimes if you're not quite ready to recognize your own divine essence, this needs to be. Yet at any moment you can choose to recognize that it is you who are initiating yourself into love, that you are the being of light, the divine, that is drawing you forward into yourself. At any moment you can choose to recognize yourself. Will this be such a moment? This oracle holds a message for you. There are many teachers on this path, some humble, some wise, some great companions on your journey, on your life journey, and some who will enter in and out of your life quickly, perhaps imparting a helpful word or teaching you a more challenging lesson about trusting and relying upon your own wisdom. The greatest teacher, however, is life itself. You can trust in your own experience and know that it is the divine spark within you, the life within you, that is the one true teacher who carries you home in awakened reunion with the divine. And the poem simply states, how easy to love, the words flow. When it's right, I dare not tell you. All right, second one is Across the Waters, 23. Okay, so the last one is just talking about you are the master. You don't have to connect with the masters. You can if you like, but you are the master. Trust yourself. Across the waters, you're being called across the waters, as if crossing a bridge of light from one ocean to a far greater one, which we're talking about the ship. Those waters are your emotional waters, holding your feelings, your attitudes, expectations, and your fears and doubts, as well as your hopes and dreams. It can seem like such a lot to navigate. Sometimes our waters feel overcrowded, as if swarms of people were descending into the ocean on a sweltering hot day, which was very much about the read today. Like a lot of the main cards were just completely covered with clarifiers. And there was a lot of people in the read today. Hardly finding a space in the water to cool ourselves, we can feel as though there's just no room for faith, trust, peace, and love. There's just too much happening in that water. We yearn for the cool, calm mountain lake, serene, giving, echoing a gentle dispensation of grace. You're being called across the waters, out from an overcrowded sea, into the cool spaciousness of the endless lake. So it's time to let go of some mental clutter, some attitudes, some thoughts. Ask for help and bathe yourself in the green and gold rays of healing color. Just imagine them cascading down around you now and through you like a waterfall. It's a bit like you're moving to a new neighborhood in a cleaner and more spacious town. It might be a bit unfamiliar at first, but soon you'll enjoy the difference. This oracle brings you a message. It is your time to think about something in a different light. Soon you'll have a shift in perspective, and the feeling of overwhelm, stress, and just too much going on will be replaced with serene trust and peacefulness. Know that beneath even the most chaotic mind is a place of deep, quiet serenity within. Do whatever helps you dive deep to find it. Dance, take some rest, meditate, do yoga, write, paint, make love, make music. In that quiet serenity within, you'll be leaving unnecessary chaos behind, and you'll be presented with the gift of a new way forward. And that's paralleling to what's his name? Paul the Venetian, okay, about the artistic pursuits, and it's also bringing in the gold and green light. So in talking about needing to clear yourself very thoroughly towards the eclipse and beyond, you might want to use the gold and green light for healing, and then the Christ light of protection, okay? So the poem reads, inhaling the soft scent of promised taste, the nectar moist upon my lips. I savor each sip across my tongue, dwelling in the moment's pleasure. Warm and sweet, bathed in tingling thirst, I find myself wanting you, wanting more. Okay, so the last one is 62, the choice. The choice. There is a choice that you need to make. You're aware of it already, or it's coming to your awareness very soon. Embrace the unknown and say, yes. You have the opportunity to enrich your world, to receive and therefore be able to share much more. If anxiety or fear arises, guilt or shame, which came up in the read, treat it as the cleansing of your emotional waters, as they receive so much more inflow from the divine ocean. Let the old layers rise to the surface of your awareness to be washed away. Okay, that's like the rashes that are appearing on your skin. What seems to be so much in the context of your own emotional waters is not so much at all when compared to what the great ocean is capable of holding. So let the divine ocean take the old, washing it away from you and replenishing you with the new, that you may serve life all the better. This oracle brings you guidance. It is safe to choose now. There is no wrong choice, just a choice that resonates with your heart. If it's challenging you, that is an opportunity for you to let the divine cleanse and lift you into the vibration where you feel at peace with your choice, where you can accept the grace it will bring to you. Do this now. It is your time to step up and make your life easier on yourself, open to love in a more trusting way. Come now, the divine is calling you to play. The poem reads, our lives are measured in choices we have made along the path we call living. Each compass point a possibility, each step an opportunity. Seemingly random, each decision moves us inexorably in a direction both unknown and yet somehow familiar. For upon reflection, the strength we find in choosing, or the surrender of letting all unfold, led us to the place we started from when we made that first choice to be here again. Okay, so back to your own knowing, allowing the veil to slip away so you can actually see the truth of the real you. Okay, so be good to yourselves. The energies are probably going to still come in as very strong energies through the eclipse, so make sure you clear yourself constantly, you know, and know you can master this. You have the ability to clear yourself with your own intention. And drink your water. Make sure you're flushing all this stuff through you as well. Okay, it was just 55:44, and rise and be love, you guys.